Coming up on News Live at 6, continuing coverage following Remembrance Week events honoring the SU students lost in Pan Am Flight 103. Citrus TV's Cora Mayer-Costa has more on what's happening tonight.
Plus, the Federal Trade Commission is opposing a request from Upstate University. What the request entailed next.
And I'm here outside tonight where the Residence Hall Association will be hosting an event. Citrus TV News live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
It's day 5 of Remembrance Week at Syracuse University. Good evening, I'm Alex Malanoski.
And I'm Nicole Aponte. SU is holding events throughout the week to honor the students lost in the Pan Am Flight 103 bombing. New at 6, Remembrance scholars and organizers are preparing for the event happening tonight. Citrus TV reporter Cora Mayer-Costa is live with more. Cora.
Thank you, Nicole and Alex. Remembrance scholars are preparing for tonight's Celebration of Life event at the KG Tan Auditorium inside of the National Veterans Resource Building at 7 o'clock. Now, here with me, I have Remembrance scholar Ronnie Parrillo. Ronnie, what can you tell me to expect from tonight's event?
It's going to be a transformative experience. I found out Remembrance because of the Celebration of Life. That was one of the various events that I attended and performed at. And I feel like the Celebration of Life is so special because we can really see how to celebrate the lives lost of Pan Am Flight 103, as well as learning how the arts could, whether it's spoken word, music, or poetry, how that can help us deal with grief in such a special way.
All right, well, I know you're a part of AutoTunes, so what are they and other organizations doing to contribute to this event?
I think they're doing something really special. They're really bringing a light through music, dance, the arts, and they're really providing a light to show us, to help us celebrate these lives more and to really provide us positivity, as well as, again, how the arts can help us cope with grief.
All right, thank you so much, Ronnie. Doors will open at 6:30 tonight. Reporting live for Citrus TV News, I'm Cora Mayer-Costa.
This year's convocation for Remembrance Scholars is tomorrow afternoon in Hendricks Chapel. Afterwards is the annual rose-laying ceremony at 2:03 p.m., the time 34 years ago of the explosion over Lockerbie, Scotland. The moving ceremony will be held at the Place of Remembrance located in front of the Hall of Languages.
We are following breaking news this evening. Syracuse University confirms all of the Coker brothers' documents will be removed from the university archives. Citrus TV reporter John Perik is live in studio to explain the university's decision. John.
Guys, good evening. A Syracuse University spokesperson says this comes at the Coker family's request. Last week, we first reported that Jason and Eric Coker wrote anti-Semitic letters shortly before the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. And we discovered those letters in the Pan Am Flight 103 archives and Byrd Library. And now the university is working on removing the physical materials from the Coker brothers' archives. And they have already removed the online documents. And a Syracuse University spokesperson tells us, at the family's request, we will be returning the archival material they provided to the university, and the digital content has already been removed. And last week we spoke with one of the current Remembrance scholars who says, quote, the context of the letters should not be erased.
So even if they were taken out of the archives, I'd hope that there would be something put in place that would still remind us that they existed and that they were there at a certain point in time.
And the university is continuing to honor Jason and Eric Coker during this week's Remembrance ceremonies. Reporting live in studio, John Perik, Citrus TV News, guys.
John, thank you. The Chancellor is seeking nominees for this year's Chancellor Citation for Excellence. The award is given to a faculty member who has made, quote, invaluable contributions to the university. There are 4 categories of the awards. The Chancellor presents in April of next year. Members can be nominated now through December 9th by email to Faculty Affairs.
And tonight, the Residence Hall Association is hosting a program for some North neighborhood residents. Citrus TV reporter Ronnie Parrillo joins us now with more. Ronnie?
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Well, I'm out here outside of Ernie-DellPlain and Ernie Davis Halls, and that's where the Residence Hall Association is hosting an evening with lawn games and some hot chocolate and pie. And I'm actually here right now with Joel Barnes, who is the president of the RHA. Joel, what can you tell us about the events that the RHA is having this semester here at Syracuse?
Thank you, Ronnie. So RHA is Residence Hall Association. And we are focusing on programming and advocacy, and we have a lot of programs planned for the rest of the semester. For right now, for next week, we have pumpkin painting that's going to be on South Campus and Goldstein on Thursday. So we like to see people come out, just paint some pumpkins, just being like, in that fall season, fall vibe. And we have some more programs hopefully in November and for December and also next semester as well.
Awesome. Well, yeah, the RHA looks to engage students from different dorms across the Syracuse campus. Like I said, these lawn games tonight happening until 6:30, and you can also check out a bunch of the other events happening on the calendar page for Syracuse. And now I'm going to go enjoy some hot chocolate. I think Kelsey, my photog, deserves some hot chocolate too and a great piece of pie. Guys, I'm going to send it back over to you now in studio where it's nice and warm.
Ronnie, thank you so much. Look, I could really use a cup of hot chocolate right now. It was so cold walking to class today.
It was so cold this morning. Ronnie was in my old stomping grounds there. Too cold for me.
Wow.
I think we have some warmer weather, though, coming up in the next few days. Alana is here, though, to tell us more about it.
Guys, we do have some warmer weather coming up, but I'll talk about that later in the show. Let's take a look at our temperatures right now. It's 48 degrees. I'm sure you've all been outside today and you saw how cold it was this morning. And unfortunately, that colder weather is going to stay throughout the night. It's going to still be in those low 40s, going to drop about 4 degrees down to 44 degrees. But that's the typical fall weather that we have to deal with. Let's take a look at our temperatures in the area, though. Syracuse is at the highest at 47. Overall, we're dealing with low 40s to upper 40s. Rochester and Penn Yan at 44, Fulton and Rome at 45, but overall we're in those mid 40 temperatures. That's all I've got right now. Guys, back to you.
Alana, thank you as always. Another Syracuse Starbucks has shut down. The Armory Square location now preparing to close permanently after citing various safety issues around the store. A Starbucks corporate spokesperson says there is no set date for the official close, adding that the reasons for it include substance abuse and chronic homelessness in the area. This comes after the closing of the Marshall Street location earlier this year.
And the Federal Trade Commission opposing a request today. It's part of the proposed merger between Upstate Medical University and Crouse Health System. The FTC refuses to grant the two a certificate of public advantage that could shield the merger from antitrust laws. But the FTC claims this would lead to higher health care costs and lower wages for hospital workers.
Two Oswego adults are facing drug charges for the alleged intent to sell almost 150 bags of heroin and fentanyl. The Oswego Drug Task Force says this is the pair's third drug arrest over the past 3 months. 43-year-old Tracy Roach and 30-year-old Keith Goodway await arraignment at the Oswego County Cap Court.
And the man who killed an upstate New York teen is now behind bars for life. Raymond Moody confessed to killing 17-year-old Brittany Drexel while she was on spring break in South Carolina in 2009. The search for Drexel began the night she disappeared in April of that year and lasted for a decade. Her case, now being reopened 10 years later, allowed new technology to help connect Drexel's location to where Moody's car was that night.
And the man who attacked Republican gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin this summer at a campaign event is moving from jail to an alcohol treatment program. A U.S. magistrate judge said Wednesday that David Yacobonis will enter a treatment program led by the Veterans Administration. After completing the program, Yacobonis will be transferred to a halfway house.
And the New York State Department of Transportation is looking to fill a lot of positions before winter. Applications for full-time positions are being accepted. Candidates must be at least 18 and able to pass a drug test. Some positions require candidates to have a commercial driver's license, but candidates without one may receive in-house training and road tests. Physical labor is required for most positions.
And coming up, President Biden calling on the resurgence of U.S. infrastructure. We'll have more on what he's promising to Americans.
And plus, British Prime Minister Liz Truss is resigning today. What she says in her final speech when we return. Stay
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. President Biden announcing today that he will invest $350 billion over the next 5 years in American highway programs as a part of his bipartisan infrastructure law. Take a listen.
Pittsburgh's a city of bridges, but too many of them are in poor condition, like this bridge behind me before it collapsed. With the bipartisan infrastructure law, we're doing something about it.
Pennsylvania has already received $5.2 billion and will gain another $2.5 billion to fix and upgrade its infrastructure.
And Oklahoma has executed inmate Benjamin Cole this morning. The first of 3 lethal execution drugs given to him led Cole to be declared unconscious 10 minutes before he was pronounced dead.
Attorneys claim he had been severely mentally ill. He was convicted of murdering his infant daughter. Attorneys say the brutal nature of his daughter's killing warranted his execution.
And college and university enrollment has declined for the 3rd straight year. That's according to a new national report. It says that undergraduate enrollment has fallen by 1.1% since last fall.
The enrollment is now about 7% lower than what it was in the fall of 2019 before the pandemic. Meantime, freshman enrollment is down by 1.5%.
And today, British Prime Minister Liz Truss resigns after causing economic turmoil in Britain. Her policy has failed to produce successful outcomes as promised and instead has brought rebellion to the Conservative Party by which she was elected.
She'll likely be remembered as the shortest serving British leader in the country's history, serving for just 45 days. Her successor is to be announced by the end of next week.
And the European Union is holding a summit on how to counter the energy crisis caused by the war in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin has blocked off gas supply to the region, raising prices drastically.
Most countries within the union say they want to implement a price cap, but the Netherlands and Germany fear that if a cap was set too high, imports would stop entirely, leaving the union struggling for the winter.
And Syria representative at the World Health Organization, Dr. Akshamal Magtimova, is being investigated for accounts of corruption, abuse, and fraud.
More than 100 documents, messages, and other confidential materials show that Dr. Magtimova engaged in abusive behavior and pressured staff to sign contracts with Syrian politicians.
Dr. Magtimova has declined to respond to questions about the allegations.
Now, we've had colder temperatures all this week, but warmer weather is coming. I'll give you your 5-day forecast after the break.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's get into our weekly Cuse October weather fact. In Syracuse in October, the average daylight lasts 11 hours and 1 minute. Now let's get into our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, 62 degrees. That sun is coming and there are going to be no clouds, and that sun is going to continue through Saturday. It's going to be 71 degrees. That is just unbelievable to me. And fun fact, in Clemson, South Carolina, where the Orange are playing, it's also going to be 71 degrees. That's the perfect weather to get outside and cheer for the Orange when they win. Sunday, 68. We're still seeing that sun. Monday, back up to 70, and Tuesday, back to 71 again. So really, really nice warm weather we're going to be seeing. Alex and Nicole, back to you guys.
Alana, thank you. Home sales are falling across the country as September marks the 8th month in a row. The rising mortgage rates have continued to slow down the housing market. Home buyers are suffering from reduced purchasing power, resulting in fewer people buying a home.
And increasing loans are now at their highest since April of this year. Loans rising to 6.94% this week on a 30-year home. The high rates are discouraging homeowners, and buyers are now suffering from the limited number of homes available for sale.
Well, look, home sales may be falling, but Johnny Demowitz, he's in studio. Look, will the Yankees be on the rise tonight?
Nicole, we'll have to find out if the Yankees will be on the rise tonight. But coming up after the break, it's a very special day in the world of sports in general. I'll tell you why when News Live at 6 returns.
Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my beard ones. And hey, I look good with this ones. But no way he's grown that in the weak ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. That one. The itchy ones. The never forgotten ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The started late ones. The absolutely filthy ones. The drawn-on ones, the finger ones, the pin ones, the I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
OTN is on all your favorite apps: Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Search Orange Television Network or OTN. OTN has its best shows, short films, and CitrusTV on demand. Family and friends can watch OTN too. Watch the live stream of OTN to catch live CitrusTV news, live from Studio B, and mornings on the Hill. On or off campus, watch OTN anywhere.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Can the Yankees finally slay the Dragon? That is the question indeed. Welcome into sports. I'm Johnny Demowitz. That Dragon, of course, being the Houston Astros. The Yanks have fallen to Houston in the postseason in 2017, 2019. Now they find themselves in a 1-0 series hole in the ALCS. Tonight, it'll be Luis Severino on the mound for Game 2. He'll oppose Framber Valdez for the Astros. Last night's Game 1 saw Houston leave the ballpark not once, not twice, but 3 times in a 4-2 win. The series shifts back to the Bronx for Game 3 on Saturday. Moving over to the gridiron, football fans hope that tonight's Thursday night football game has a bit more action. The previous 2 Thursday night games between the Commanders and Bears and the Colts and the Broncos have only seen an average point total of just 20. But tonight's offenses certainly can change that narrative. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals play host to Alvin Kamara and the Saints to begin Week 7. Arizona has yet to win a game at home this season, while New Orleans has dropped 4 of the last 5. Back on the hill, Syracuse women's soccer is in the home stretch of the regular season. The Orange are in Pittsburgh tonight for a road date with the Pittsburgh Panthers. Nikki Adams' crew hasn't won a game in nearly a month. The Cuse are just 1-3-2 in conference play, despite a 7-1 start to the season. And the Syracuse Crunch are returning home after losing their first 2 games on the road in Cleveland. Citrus TV's Benjamin Schiller is at the On Center with the latest, as the Crunch will soon host their 29th regular season home opener.
It was all smiles Thursday morning at the Upstate Medical University Arena in downtown Syracuse. For the first time in 5 months, the Syracuse Crunch will be playing a regular season game on their home ice. Team Chief Operating Officer Jim Sarosi says there's high demand to see the Crunch in action this year.
Yeah, no, substantially higher than last year. Our new FSCs we're closing in on team records. Pre-sales have been very strong.
Sarosi says there is another reason why fans should be excited to attend games this year.
What fans can expect this year is really a celebration of getting back to no policies, getting back to what we do.
And the Crunch organization is also smiling after the Tampa Bay Lightning extended their affiliation agreement with the organization for 5 more years. With promising young players on the squad, Sarosi says this season could be brighter than the shining ice.
We know we're in phenomenal hands with literally the model franchise in Tampa Bay, and expectations are high, as they should be.
In just 2 days from now, fans will be sitting in seats like these, cheering on their hometown team in the Syracuse Crunch. The Crunch will host the Rochester Americans on Saturday. Face-off is shortly after 7 p.m. In Syracuse, Benjamin Schiller.
Today marks a special day on the sports calendar. No, it's not baseball opening day or Super Bowl Sunday, but it is Sports Equinox Day. For just the 27th time ever, MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL games will all occur on the same day. And enjoy it, folks, because these don't come around too often. In fact, there was a 16-year period from 1985 to 2001 without a singular sports equinox. But guys, a special day should be a whole lot of fun.
Johnny, that's really fascinating. But Yankees versus Astros tonight. Who do you got? The second game of the playoffs.
Look, I think the Yankees need to win in the worst way. Lost game 1 yesterday. They've got to go back to the Bronx with at least 1 win. Can't be down 2-0.
Okay, look, I know we're all wondering. This weekend, Clemson, Syracuse. It's a big one. Look, it's not at home, which I'm kind of sad about, but any predictions for this weekend?
I will say I'm giving Syracuse more credit than people are. That said, though, look, this Syracuse team is coming off a 4-game homestand. They haven't had to go on the road in quite some time. Their last road trip, Nicole, was UConn, and I'm no college football aficionado, but UConn and Clemson, 2 very different environments to be going into on the road.
And Clemson and Syracuse are both undefeated, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. Wow. Hopefully our orange brings home the victory.
We shall see.
Well, the solar equinox, it's not the solar, it's the sports equinox.
Normally we're saying the solar equinox.
What's the solar equinox, please? Well, when we return, Alana Epstein is in studio with your Wake Up Weather. Stay with us.
Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's take a look at our wake up weather. When you get up tomorrow, it's going to be 42 degrees. Now, it was so cold this week, and I know 42 is still pretty cold, but that sun's going to be coming out, and we already know how warm it's going to get tomorrow. Now, I am so excited to get into this photo of the day. This is me and reporter Ronnie Parrillo and EP Maddie Stelk. Maddie EPs this show every Thursday. She does such an amazing job, so we have to give her credit. Now, when I walk into the studio every Thursday, the air is cold, but something about it feels like home somehow, and that is like Citrus TV, because Citrus TV is like such a home, and that is a reference to Taylor Swift because her new album Midnights drops tonight, and I am so excited. Guys, what about you?
Great Taylor Swift reference.
I love that song. Sing it in the car.
Alex did give me some help with that. I'm gonna give him some credit, but
something about it felt like home.
Oh wow, we're singing right now.
That is impressive.
I think we should start an acapella group.
I really should.
Obviously, it's got nothing on us. Got nothing on us.
I have to know everyone, and we all have to be in an era, our Taylor Swift era, of what is.
She's had so many.
So many.
She's had so many.
So many.
Yes.
What era are you in?
Okay, so I'm wearing the color. I'm in the red era. I just feel like that is the most fall era, like all of those songs, All Too Well, obviously. So I'm in my red era. What about you?
I think I'm in my Reputation era, right? Is that what it's called? Yes. Look, my roommate has been converting me to a Swiftie. That has been like the semester-long goal, and I am so excited to hear this album.
I am also in my Reputation era. Nicole stole that from me, of course.
Oh, that's not true.
The old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead.
Oh.
So the old Alex is dead, the new Alex is here. I'm in my Reputation era. Johnny.
Don't tell that to me. I mean, old Taylor is my favorite Taylor. I'm in the speed now era. I love the country stuff. I go back to the early Taylor. Some of her early, even pre that. I like Mean. I think Mean is my favorite song by Taylor. I'm a big fan.
With your words like knives and your swords and your weapons.
Can you guys I will not be singing. I've got a little bit of a sore throat going on. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry to disappoint the fans.
Alex, the biggest Swiftie of us all. He's the biggest Swiftie.
Our song. Wait, you know who's a huge Swiftie though? Dylan Brendel.
Oh,
he knew about this album.
I've heard Dylan.
He said
All Too Well so many
13
times.
sleepless nights, he said, is what this album is all about. He told me that right before the show. He had to fill me in and inform me about that.
Okay, well, look, I have to say, okay, this album tonight, I'm very, very excited. I honestly forgot what I was going to say about Taylor Swift.
Lana Del Rey's on this album. I'm so excited.
Are you guys all staying up until midnight to listen to it?
Obviously.
All right.
I'll be up until midnight.
For me, it was going to be a tomorrow morning kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll stay up.
Early morning sad moments.
Wow. Well, that's all the time, unfortunately, we have today on Citrus TV News.
For more of the latest, follow us at Citrus TV News on Twitter or check out our website at citrustv.com.
For all of us on Citrus TV News, I'm Nicole Aponte.
And I'm Alex Malanoski. Have a great night, Syracuse.